Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Review. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of The Unravelling of Ooh by Hollar Ghadery. This is a book from Palimpsest Press. It's coming out February 12th, 2026, so I'm just getting in here, sliding under the radar. It's contemporary fiction. I received this book from River Street Reads in exchange for a fair review. Featuring one of the wildest narrators I've encountered, The Unravelling of Ooh is a heartfelt and intimate look at parental oppression and coping with trauma. So what is it about? Moving on is hard, especially harder when it's from a make-believe friend, someone, or in this instance, something, who's been your strongest source of support. On what should be one of the happiest days ever, the day her granddaughter is born, Minou is faced with a terrible choice. Make a clean break from her constant companion, a sock puppet named Ecology Paul, or lose her daughter and granddaughter and maybe all of the people she loves. On an emotional drive home from the hospital, Ecology Paul shares the story of how Minou got to this point, recalling Minou's early childhood pregnancy in Iran, her exile to Canada, her questions about her sexuality, and how a ragtag sock puppet came to her when she desperately needed to be seen. Full of imagination, whimsy, and heart, The Unravelling of Ooh follows Minou's struggles to justify the puppet's existence and untangle herself from her dependence on it and reconnect with the people she loves. This short book, it's so small, is excellent. It's, as you heard in the back, it's the story of a woman, Minou, as she drives home from the hospital after visiting her new grandbaby. Most of the book, though, is flashbacks. Like it's interesting because the book takes place over one day, her driving home from the hospital, not even a whole day, maybe like half a day. But as she drives and makes stops here and there, we get a whole bunch of flashbacks about like her life. So it's a little bit stream of consciousness in that regard. But what's interesting is that it's told, through the sock puppet's point of view, which is so good. Some of the flashbacks are in chronological order, most of them not, and it's kind of like bits of her life and key events and how they shaped her kind of odd coping mechanism. So the sock puppet, Ecology Paul, while it's the narrator though, it shows kind of how she uses him to express her own doubts about her behavior. And obviously the sock puppet is her speaking. It's obviously her. It's not a real sentient being. And so it's almost like her telling her story and admitting these things to herself. The sock puppet allows her to say things that she can't say, to work through things that she doesn't want to work through. And then she also uses as a crutch to avoid addressing these issues. It's so well done. It's such a fascinating way to do it. It's so good. Like the fact that this book wouldn't work without this sock puppet being the narrator, and I just think that's so clever. It's fascinating. It's genius, really. It never feels silly, and most of the time you even forget that it's the sock puppet narrating, as the story, as I said, is mainly flashbacks, so it's telling kind of what Minou was doing at the time. It's also not quirky. It says it's whimsical on the back, but it's not really whimsical. It's serious and it's heartfelt, but it's also realistic and relatable. It's so good. It does approach heavy themes, such as how parents attempt to control their children and how that pushes them away, and how children still cling to abusive parents even when they are aware of the abuse and acknowledge their parents' wrongdoing. They just, can't. They're your parents. So even if you try to kind of distance yourself, you still think about what they think of you and things like that. Tied to this, it addresses how these expectations and emotional abuse, in some cases, put on children affect them throughout their lives, such as how puritanical ideas about sex and womanhood can not only mess with women's heads, but put them at risk medically. It's really well done. It's also a story of immigration, as are a lot of Canadian stories, as Minou is from Iran and moved to Canada, and it's also a bit of a story about a queer awakening too. It sounds like the book is addressing so many things, but it never feels overwhelming, and there are good parts to Minou's life as well, giving us a really well-rounded character who feels real, and you really empathize with her. Like, sometimes you're frustrated with her, you're like, but at the same time you understand why she's doing what she's doing. It's funny, though, because I don't think, even though obviously the sock puppet is her, we don't actually hear her speak in the book. Like, I don't think she has any dialogue. I'd have to go back and look at it again. But it's that was interesting too, if that's the case. The writing is absolutely lovely with some beautiful passages. I didn't highlight them because I was reading this beside the pool. I was on vacation. I should have brought a pen with me. I mean, I did, but it was in a hotel room and I wasn't going to get up. But if you love smart, elegant writing, you should really, really check this out. The cover's also really fun. Like, I think it's hand-drawn. It's so cool. It's just fantastic. It's a fantastic book. Thank you so much to Holly and River Street for the paperback review copy. I love it. I I went into it with high expectations, and because I've read Holly's other work, and those expectations were totally met. If I hadn't already read Red Winter, this probably would be my favorite book of the month, but we'll see, maybe. It'll be a fight between a beast and a sock puppet. Yeah, so again, thank you so much. Okay.